Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the so-called beach bully case. We've discussed this in the past. I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Thai Examiner. That's thaiexaminer.com. Article is titled, "New Zealand Day Brothers Have Landed Back Home in Their Own Country After 4 Months in Detention." And again, this was another one of these foreigners behaving badly kind of stories that we touched on some months back, and that involved these two people who assaulted a Thai police officer. Apparently they've now been released. They're back in New Zealand where they're originally from, notwithstanding the fact that they apparently assaulted a Thai police officer here in Thailand after only 4 months of detention. I don't even know that there was an adjudication in the matter or exactly what that adjudication entailed. But long story short, a very odd situation involving that. I've done another video specifically on that topic. And again, we'll certainly keep people updated on this channel as the story evolves. That being said, they did bring up this so-called beach bully case. Quoting directly, "Public reaction in Thailand is tense amid recent high-profile crimes involving foreigners. Undoubtedly, the incident was seen by the public in Thailand as showing a lack of respect for the law in the country." Yeah, no joke. I mean, they assaulted an on-duty police officer. Quoting further, "It came at a particularly sensitive time after a hugely controversial assault by a Swiss businessman on a Thai female doctor some weeks earlier. That case is still before the courts and is being closely watched not only in Thailand, but by concerned parties in Switzerland. The Swiss man has had his visa revoked." Quoting further, "At the same time, public opinion in Phuket has been pressing to limit lawlessness in their resort island. Much of this is attributable to the huge influx of both tourists and long-term residents, in particular arrivals from Russia in flight from the war in Ukraine." I think the one piece of insight that you can pull from this whole sort of situation is, okay, say what you will about the length of the detention of the two New Zealand suspects in that other situation, whether or not that was warranted, especially based on the accusations and the evidence. What it did show to me was, at the very least, there seems to be an impetus to the note behind the notion of, hey, rather than expend resources, local resources, detaining, jailing these people, let's just get rid of them. So, I think it's fair to say, I think it's fairly certain to say that the person involved in this beach bully case, however the adjudication pans out, as noted in that article itself, and as we've noted in prior videos, the visa itself has been revoked. And the Interior Minister has basically said in no uncertain terms that he's not really interested in seeing that person have another visa. So however the adjudication turns out, I think it's probable, in fact, highly probable, that the person involved will likely be deported and not allowed to return to the country. Now, again, this seems to be the preferred method, at least if you're looking at it from the perspective of this prior New Zealand case, or this New Zealand case that came shortly on the heels of the so-called beach bully case. Long story short, it does not look like that punishment is the priority right now. It seems like just getting folks out of the country is folks that are behaving badly. So again, how exactly this plays out remains to be seen, but it seems logical to presume that there will at least be some sort of movement more toward deportation based on what's happened in this other case. Again, though, you can't presume that. Each case is different in Thailand. There is no usage of precedent, the so-called stare decisis system we use in the common law. That doesn't exactly exist here in Thailand. So again, you can't necessarily extrapolate an outcome or a conclusion regarding a probable outcome based on a prior case or another case. But that said, I think to some extent it's fairly logical to infer that at the very least deportation will occur. If for no other reason, then again, I think reasonable people can strongly disagree regarding the punishment meted out in the case involving the New Zealanders and the assault on the police officer. But what we do know is that ultimately they did leave the country. So again, I think it's fair to presume that that's probably going to be what happens in this other case as well.